Hey everyone, meteorologist Rusty Dawkins looking at the severe weather threat again for Monday. It just seems like we've had a very busy spring and we're not slowing down anytime soon. In fact, this one looks to be an event that we want to keep an eye on. We have anywhere from an enhanced to slight to marginal risk. Now the enhanced is kind of right in the middle. That's your level 3 out of 5. And the slight risk for much of the western, west central, northern, northeastern Nebraska, it's a level 2. And then the marginal kind of on the fringe. So the marginal is just at level 1 or 2 severe storms. The slight risk, a couple of more severe storms. And then the enhanced risk, that's when you start to get up there a little bit. And larger storms, stronger storms, more of them. So I'll show you all of that here in just a minute. But what are our main threats? The tornado is up there. I don't think it's our main threat, but it's certainly a threat because we're in that 10% yellow shaded area from about Lincoln south. For south central and southeast Nebraska, the better chance for the very strong EF2 or bigger tornadoes is in that black hashed marked area just west of Kansas City into the eastern half of Kansas. But still, 2%, 5%, 10% chance for the capital city. Definitely for 10% from the capital city south, definitely a chance for some strong storms. And some of those could be tornadic. So 2%, 5%, 10%. I mean, it's a chance for a tornado. Damaging wind, where those black hash marks are, that's 75 miles per hour or higher potential. The red shaded areas, where the most likely area will see the damaging wind. And then the 15% in yellow and 5% in the brown shaded area. So basically that along and south of Interstate 80, from about the Tri-Cities east to Lincoln and south. That's your best chance for seeing 75 mile per hour wind gusts or higher, which, that can do just as much damage as tornadoes. So they're the same thing. It's wind. It's just one's going straight and the other one's just whipping around in a circle. Large hail. Just about everybody from about Grand Island south into southwestern and southeastern Nebraska. Lincoln's kind of on the edge of that. Those black hash marks means 2 inches in diameter hail, which is about the size of, it's bigger than a golf ball, just a little bit bigger than a golf ball. And that can do a lot of damage. The better chance for seeing that is where the 30% red shaded area is in south central Nebraska, but the yellow shaded area has just as much chance. Not quite as a little bit less chance for seeing the severe weather, but we all have that chance at seeing this the damaging wind and the large hail. So what do the risks mean? Well, that middle one, that brownish orangish colored one, that's your enhanced risk. That's when it starts to get a little on the high side. Numerous severe storms possible, more persistent and or widespread, and a few of them intense. Now the yellow one, that's what most of the rest of the state of Nebraska is. Scattered severe storms possible, short-lived, but not as widespread, and isolated intense storms possible. And then the marginal risk, 1 or 2 strong to severe storms are possible in that area. So that yellow or that orangish shaded area, that's where we start to really pay attention. That's when that enhanced risk starts to kick in. At least it's not moderate and high, but some areas, I think in Oklahoma and Texas, are in that range. So definitely a situation that we want to keep an eye on. And here's the forecast for Nebraska. I want to point out this little thing right here. This is the wave coming at us. Now it doesn't have anything to work with yet, and it's right there, starting to move across the state. It's looking for some more moist air. Not there yet. This is 11 a.m. between North Platte and Grand Island, just east of McCook. And then there it finds some things to work with. This is at noon, starting to see these isolated storms pop up. This is when the large hail will become more likely. And when the storms initiate, could see some tornadoes as well. This right here is probably your best bet for large hail, maybe an isolated tornado, and the wind threat starts to increase. This is 2 p.m. Monday. By 4 p.m., north central, into south central Nebraska, starting to move into eastern Nebraska, seeing some prefrontal storms. Those usually are not severe, but this line starting to turn into a wind maker, but still isolated storms inside that line. And as it moves east, this is trying to bow a little bit, but it also has just those sections in there, those little nuggets, and that could mean the hail, and that could mean the tornado. And this is where it gets a little messy. just kind of starts to increase all over the place. Those prefrontal storms start to get more fuel. The line of storms start to move in. When you start to see the line moving into different isolated storms that are already there, that could spin things up. So already starting to see a chance for some damaging wind, large hail, and tornadoes all within this area. So again, have a way to be alerted should severe weather happen in your area, because there's definitely a chance, especially with as messy as this is getting on Monday evening, we could have all kinds of warnings, and they may be for 1-inch hail and damaging wind, but there could be some isolated tornadoes in there. Again, I think the better chance for the tornadoes is likely going to be south of us, but any of this could spin something up. Hopefully it's not strong, but it's something we're keeping an eye on. And then this line, it turns into a line here. I think right here, it's likely turning into a wind event, but there's so many isolated storms. You can just count them right there. There's like 10 of them. And then inside this line, you can see those pink and purple shaded areas. Any of that could be large hail and maybe an isolated tornado as well. So lots to watch for Monday evening. And as that line moves out, this is 9 p.m. and it should be out of Nebraska by about 10 o'clock. So where's the fuel at? Is it there? Is it the instability? It's definitely there. Really starts to increase about right here. This is where you see these bluish shaded areas. It's not a high cape, you're not looking at the moderate or high or extreme, but there's still enough fuel there that anything gets going, like in this area, that's when you start to see more lift and more energy and more instability for those storms to work with. That's why the further south you go, notice there's more of it into Kansas, not quite as much in eastern Nebraska, and then it goes away quickly. So how about lightning intensity? This is a good way to learn if there's a high lightning intensity. That usually means there's a pretty good chance that things are going up and hail goes up and wind drafts go up, and that creates some spin as well. So when there's lots of lightning intensity, that usually means the storm is getting strong. So right here, 4:30, not quite yet, but right there, that's where you start to see the medium to high intensities showing up. Between Grand Island, Lincoln, Beatrice, and Omaha. It's kind of all over the place, which is expected of lightning. That continues as we move east. Still some intense lightning through 7:30 p.m., and then it kind of moves off to the east by 10 o'clock. How about significant hail? This isn't when and where. This is the parameters that are needed for significant hail. We need that frontal boundary to catch up with where this significant hail potential is at. And if they hit at the same place at the same time, you see significant hail. So let's see where that line's moving through central and eastern Nebraska from about 4 to 8, and it's definitely there. Their fuel is there, especially 7 p.m. in south central Nebraska near Grand Island. Significant hail potential there. Eastern Nebraska kind of starts to fizzle out a little bit. Same thing with the significant tornado parameter. You need that line to catch up with it. So if the parameter is there, if the fuel is there, if what's needed to do a significant tornado lines up within where that frontal boundary is moving through, they meet at the same time, and that's when one can be produced. So this is 3 p.m. It's there, especially right there. So that's 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. time frame. The chances there for tornadoes to form, because the significant tornado parameter is getting a little high. It's about 2 to 3. It's not crazy high. It's not 6 or 7, but it's there. And what does that mean? It means the potential, if the storm is in the right place at the right time, could spin up a tornado, and then it starts to break up a little bit by 8 p.m. So again, here's a look at that line. This is your 6 p.m. There's that 7 p.m. There's that 8 p.m. So anytime between 5 and 9 for central and eastern Nebraska, you're going to have a decent chance of seeing those strong to severe storms, hail, damaging wind, and tornadoes. And then by 9, 10 o'clock at night, it starts to fizzle out. So I'm hoping we see the rain. We definitely need the rain. We've had a good start in Lincoln for it's the 10th wettest May for the first 4 days. So that's good. We need the moisture. Everybody's been getting some pretty good rainfall. Looks like we're going to get another soaking Monday afternoon, but the potential for severe weather is there. Hopefully we can dodge that. But in case we don't, have a way to be alerted, have a way to, sirens are great. They work if you're outside, but sometimes they don't. If you're in your car, if you have headphones on or earbuds, which I do all the time, if you're in your basement, if you're sleeping, if you could, there's so many reasons why you wouldn't hear a siren, especially if you live a fair distance away from it. So don't plan on hearing the siren. Sometimes they don't work. I mean, sometimes they get an electricity zap, or the tornado hits them and takes them out. I mean, it's possible. So then you wouldn't hear the tornado siren. But you have an app, have a weather radio, have a way to be alerted 1, 2, 3 different ways is fantastic. So anyway, if severe weather is happening, I will try to be streaming on YouTube. I'll do a YouTube live as well as cutting into TV. So if you like and subscribe on this channel, you will know I go live. And that way, if you ding the little bell and do all that kind of stuff, you'll know I go live. And that way, that's another way for you to know what's happening streaming on your phone or on your computer or your laptop or whatever. So anyway, like and subscribe. That'd be great. Let's hope we can dodge severe weather this time and just get some decent rain. See you guys.